Welcome back. In the studio today, I've got Anna Etodia with me, and we've been sharing an amazing story.
Yeah.
Going back to where we were, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
So, for you, after the baby, you finished uni. When did you find that peace? What happened afterwards?
So there was a lot of upheaval during that
I want to
time.
hear about that upheaval because I think there's some, serious things you can share with us on there.
Yeah, I think it was just more of finding myself. I didn't like myself. I didn't like who I was. I had a supportive parents. I had, everything you could ask for, even in the situation I was in. But it was just that I was lost. I didn't know how to gain myself back. I didn't even know how to gain God back. It was just like, okay, how do I find my place? And I would say it's my parents' prayers that possibly led me back to where I was, because even then,
praying.
it's amazing. So even then, I was, I went back to my normal, routine. I'll go clubbing. I'll go and drop my son off at my parents. I said I'm coming back, and I leave him. It was just I just could not. It's either maybe I thought I've lost something in my youth or my, because having a baby at 20, people say you're old enough, but if you're not prepared for it,
exactly, it's a different.
It's a different ball game. If you were prepared and mentally, you do get some people like that. But I wasn't like that. So I wasn't. And again, I came from a family who did not have that kind of. We've never had anybody that had, pregnancy. So it was new to me. So I went on a search to find myself. And funnily enough, I found myself back years on. I didn't feel comfortable going back to my parents' church.
I think even generally, you find that it's always a bit of a challenge for children to stay in their parents' churches. Because I can't imagine going to my parents' church, even now at my age. I couldn't, and I didn't enjoy it, and it just wasn't right for me. So at times, it just might not be what you need.
It wasn't going to be healthy for me. Because I needed someone I can confide in. I needed someone that I can speak to. And because our youth church was dissolved, obviously the pastor is still very close to in fact is my son's godfather, but that church wasn't available anymore, so I needed to find a place that I could fit in, and I went church hopping until I found myself, my friend found myself in Jesus' house. And then I found out that the pastor was easy to talk to as well. So once you become a worker, he will come and talk to you. And every pastor in the whole church were accommodating, and I felt safe. And I'm like, okay. So I got my dad to okay me not being in his church, because I needed him to be okay with it. And he said, as long as I'm, which is important. But he said, as long as I'm in a Bible-believing church, right, and I'm gaining the word, then it's fine. And
I just started singing here because I know you sing, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been singing since. Even during my pregnancy, I wasn't allowed to sing because I was pregnant.
Okay.
So I was taking off everything. So I would sing I would still go to choir practice. So
this is you after your, all you've been through, your clubbing. Were you smoking? Were you drinking?
Oh,
were you,
yes, all of the above.
All of the above. Okay, partying.
Oh my gosh, is my mom going to see this? I was doing everything.
Well, that's why we're on this show, really, isn't it? It's the story that you've had to go through to the glory of God and where you are now.
I'll give you a secret. Even going to church, I was still smoking. And I felt like God is just going to come down and shoot me. I remember I'll go clubbing the day before, and I would still go to church, and I'll go on the stage, and
I think that's just the beauty of God, isn't
exactly,
it?
the grace.
That's the beauty of knowing God.
Because
it doesn't strike you there and then on the stage, isn't
exactly.
it? It does not strike you there and then. It still loves us, irrespective of where we've come to in the morning,
Oh,
and that's just the beauty of
God has been, he's been great.
Awesome.
And
so going forward after that, you joined the church, you settled in.
Yeah.
What were relationships for you like? Obviously at this stage.
I had various people that will come and say, hey, but once they know you have a child, hey, became just, they don't understand that. Okay, we come as a package. I was due to get married. So after a while, I started seeing someone. I'm not going to make any facial because I think that paved my way to meet my lovely husband that I'm with now. But he said that he wanted to marry me, and I was like, great. He was able to accept that I had a child. So I was like, yay. So he came to my parents, and I remember the day he came, and that should have given me warning bells, right? He didn't tell me he was going to do anything. He just
Oh,
walked
it just came
into
to
my
your
parents' house and
yeah.
he just knelt on the floor or whatever they do. I was like, what are you doing, dude? You know? So I think then my mom said, oh, my mom was, I think it was the first time she's ever seen me bring anyone home. And in the person, so my mom was really excited, but I noticed that my dad did not say anything. But I just smiled, you know. And with what we said, we wanted to get married. And I think I thought I had confirmation as well, because someone in church said, God said you're going to get married. I'm like, hey, amen, I'm with somebody. So even though there were signs, I sort of, you know, went from like the devil doesn't want me to get married, you know. But God had ways,
because we don't want to.
God had ways of making sure that this person was not going to be in my life. So at occasions, things will happen, you know, and God will just, you know, show himself. And I wasn't aware that God was using these situations to just bring him out of my life, and he did. And you know, I'm so happy about that.
So tell us how you then met you're married now, aren't you?
I'm married, yes.
Okay,
married.
So how did you then meet your husband?
Gosh, so I had a friend, and her mom, lovely, she's my pastor now.
Okay.
And I think they've been speaking, I know, who can we hook up Anna with?
And
I hate
trying
hookups.
to match.
I hate hookups. Hookups don't necessarily work. So I was like, oh gosh, then she just randomly.
Some have worked before though, but I don't know that most
yes,
single women
obviously
don't
it's working now, but I don't like hookups.
Okay.
And my obviously my husband might say it's a different story, but we have a different, you know. But so she called me and said, okay, Anna, Friday she calls me up and said, Anna, can you come and sing in our church on Sunday? I was thinking this is a short notice. You know, but I honored it anyway, and I came to the church. And prior to that, they asked me, they said, there's this person that they're a musician, he plays the keyboard, and I was like, send your songs. And I don't think I can't remember if I sent my songs or not, but anyway, I got there on the day, and there was this guy on the keyboard. Didn't even think anything of it. And then I gave him, he said, what song do I have? I gave him my songs, and then he started to play, and and then afterwards I said, oh, the key is too high. And I'm like, please, who's asking you? I'm the star. I'm the one they invited.
I'm just giving you
know. So, and after a while, I realized the key was actually too high. So I went to, you know, sheepishly going to them.
You didn't want to.
Please help me to take the key. And I remember going to the office, and you know, and the mommy, I called her, Pastor Kulesi, said, oh, I've got someone I want you to meet. And I was thinking, oh God.
They're matchmaking us again.
Has it gotten that bad? That they had to invite me to church.
Actually,
I was like, oh my God, I look like a charity case. So then walks in my now husband, and after a while, I was didn't want to talk to him, but after a while, I realized that we actually started talking. We had quite a few things in common. And then afterwards, our friends decided, okay, let's go for dinner, or let's go for lunch. And I went into the toilet, and I would definitely say it's God, because God, I heard a voice. I was like, who's in here? You know, that says, invite him to dinner, invite him with you. I didn't know that my friends he was already coming.
Right.
So
this is the person you're not that keen
on.
Not
that. Can you imagine? It was just odd. You know, invite him. So I now asked him, and they said, oh, he's already coming. And then he went in my car, because I drove, and then they went in, my friends went in their car. And we spoke all the way through, and we found out that we had a lot in common. By the end of the dinner, we were sharing the same, using the same spoon to eat ice cream. That's how. This is the first day.
Wow.
And then I remember, after that, we spent the whole day together. You know, in the evening. And as I was going, he's like, "You're going to be my wife." I'm like, dude.
He said that to you?
Yeah, I'm like, dude.
See, I hear stories like that, but
same here.
Like, you know,
I'm like, that's why I
don't usually believe.
That's why I said, hello, dude. He now said that I should go and pray about it. I said, okay, give me 7 days. I'll pray about it. But even that 7 days, he didn't leave me alone. I said, how can I pray?
Where you will pray.
But you know what?
So that just shows he was
very convinced, and he will tell you stories that, you know, he prayed for favor that day, and he believed that I was his, you know. But yeah, that's where we are now.
We should try and get him on the show.
We should, shouldn't we? Yeah, to give you his side of the story.
Exactly, we're nice together.
They always say that if a man loves God, then it's easy for him to love you, and it's been amazing, and it's been an awesome dad to my son, You know, so
that was going to be my next question
Yeah.
in terms of the relationship with your son and for him to be able to
yeah,
deal with
it's
that.
always anytime you bring a child into a relationship, it's always very difficult
Yeah.
because they're trying to find themselves.
Okay.
And exactly, especially when my son, it was been me and my son
Yes,
for
for
so many
long.
years.
Yes.
You know, he was 14 when I got together
Oh, wow.
with him. So there was a clash. You know, there was a clash, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, "Oh my God, it was perfect."
And that's what we don't want
Yeah.
here on the show. Yeah, We
They
want to
have
be
their
real.
ups and downs. They have their times where they're getting used to each other, and it's an ongoing process.
Yes.
Remember, Joshua was already set.
Yeah,
He's already, you know, his
you
mindset
and
was
as an
set
adult.
with me, so he didn't understand why another man was, you know, coming. And I'm not going to lie, there were times when he said, "Mommy, can it just be me and you?" Because he wasn't
Yeah.
used to
Yes.
somebody now
Yes.
being that father figure and giving him the discipline that he
That's-
missed. Because
that
I was trying to
growing
do
up.
mom and dad,
Yeah.
and it was harder for me to do mom and dad, and it's always hard. That's why it's always good to pray, especially as a single woman. Pray that the person that God brings will be a father, not just will bring some sort of, you know. And I get it wrong, and my husband will tell you I get it wrong because I still try to maybe be the middle person
Yes.
and try to make sure that there's, and maybe it's to my knowledge. I thought that that's how it should be, but I've noticed over time that I should just let them be
and form their own
and form their own
relationship.
relationship. Again, we've been married for 2 years, so this relationship is going for, let's say, 3 years. So it's 3 years is a short time for someone that's been away from, you know,
Yeah.
but he's getting there.
No,
He's
thank
getting
God.
there. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Anna. Thank you for
amazing.
sharing your story.
Yeah.
And our prayer is that many more young women would be encouraged as they hear your story.
Yeah.
And whatever it is that they've thought was impossible, we know that with God, all things are possible.
Yes.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next week on Story Before Glory.
My mom took me to my stepfather.
Okay.
It was kind of like a kidnapping situation.
Oh,
I used to eat from the dustbin sometime. There was a lady I actually had plans on getting married to.